High is my rock.
My rock.
The Most High is my rock. In the name of Messiah, the Most High is my rock.
Rock.
The Most High is my rock.
My rock.
The Most High is my rock. Yeah,
My
yeah,
rock.
yeah,
My
yeah.
rock.
The Most High is my rock. I keep my Bible on top. The Most High is my rock. No time for cupcake and the cutling. Hit the streets and start cutting. The Israelites are bubbling. The Israelites are coming. I don't celebrate Thanksgiving. You can keep the stuffing. It's pagan, disdain, it's vain, it's nothing. The European Union about to hit the button. And I feel sorry for you if you think the Lord is bluffing. That's why I hit the booth and I tell the truth. Are you fishing with the truth? Homie, where's your fruit? If the Most High is your rock, don't treat him like a side piece. Come in this truth plan and treat you like a side piece. He's the God of mercy and wrath. So do you want to...
Okay, Shalom Israel.
Shalom.
Welcome to another class with the Israelite School of Biblical History Practical Knowledge. We're going to do how we always do, get class rolling. Our little announcements, you know, for you brothers and sisters that don't know, we do have class. Even though this little pandemic thing is going on, we still having classes 7 days a week. 6 days, you know, between Houston and here. So you can join us, subscribe to both channels, and you can join us on those class days from 7 to 9. Okay, and then 10 to 2 on Saturday mornings. We have class here. We have class in San Antonio. We have class in Houston. We have Mashaba online with Blog Talk Radio. If you subscribe to our channel, all that information, you can receive it. All right. We ask that y'all like, share, comment, all that. Do all that good stuff. We know a lot of brothers and sisters have questions. Put your questions in the comment section, and we will get back to you. We will answer those questions. We're pretty good with that. So do that if you like. Okay. What high holy day we got coming up?
Feast of Pentecost.
We got the Feast of Pentecost. What day is that?
This is going to be May the 26th.
So look out for that. We're going to get together. We're going to, of course, commemorate the high holy day like we're supposed to. If you're local in the area and want to do that with brothers like-minded, you are welcome to get a hold of us and come through. All right. So you know, we want to thank all the time brothers and sisters that support, especially during this time. Our schools wouldn't be getting paid without y'all. We appreciate you. All the money definitely goes to our bills of the school and the rents, all right, for the schools. So we appreciate y'all. We always got to say that. Scriptures say, give honor where honor's due. So we appreciate y'all, brothers and sisters, with all of our heart, all right? We're going to go right into tonight's class. I'm going to open it up for questions if anybody has any questions. Tonight's class is a question class also. It's another brother had a question on it. And we told him a few days ago we were going to go through it in its entirety. So we want to do that tonight. So if y'all have anything, now's the time to get your questions out so we can get this rolling. You know how time flies, man. This hour in what, 40, 30 minutes is quick. So if y'all got any questions, shoot them.
Hour 45.
Hour 45, yeah, it's gonna go quick. We got a lot of scriptures to go over. Good question, brother had. Also, we gotta send the brother. I need you to look for the class on Sabbath, how to worship the Sabbath. Somebody shoot me that so I can send it to a new brother that's been hitting me up. Actually, Ricardo's cousin. So he's been trying to, you know, just get a lot of information. I want to shoot it over to him. He wanted that about the Shabbat. Brothers and sisters got to keep consistent. You know what I would like for y'all to make a comment. How many people we got on there yet? 16. All right, let me say that. I'll say it a few times during class. I want to ask y'all if y'all think y'all are getting overkill with class. Like, if it's becoming like, I got it accessible, you know, whatever. You know, hit me up in the comments. because we do 7 days a week. I keep saying 7, 6 days. It's 7 because the sisters do class, but that's offline. They do a woman's class offline. But I want y'all to let me know if y'all think 7 days of class is overkill, especially during this age. During this age of you're probably jumping around to different classes and things of that nature. You know, our thought process is get the class out, teach our people. You know what I mean? But I was thinking about it the other day. I wonder if 6 days of class is overkill. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got a couple answers already. Says
like, think about it. When I'm asking that, I'm asking, do you really log in every 6 days,
getting soaked in, yeah,
and soak all that up? Like, is it benefiting you? Like, are you taking advantage of that, or is it 3 days of class is sufficient? You know, between what we're doing. So I want y'all to answer that. What do we got?
We have a lot of no sir, la. Dawiyad said, no, we are not getting enough classes, but we need the meat. That was Dawiyad. We have Mustafa, over what? He said, heck nah, the busier I am, the better, because idle time ain't good for me. Jermaine, for me, the only time it's overkill is when bros get a little off topic.
Who said that?
Jermaine.
Tell me what you mean by that, Jermaine, because I don't understand that. Tell me what you mean when brothers get a little off topic. Go ahead.
Kaya says, we may not always be around, so it makes it available at all times, and it's needed, even if we don't want to admit it.
Okay.
All right. Yah is 24/7. That's T Fox. Dawiyad said, yes, we log in 6 days and get fed. Changes growth. Shalom. Nope. The more the merrier. I am still disappointed y'all went from 3 to 2 hours. Seem like sometimes you guys rush, but loving it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, we've been doing class, whether, I know this is for y'all, and this is a conversation I gotta keep telling one of my bros from back in the days, is that we've been doing this like before YouTube. So it, to us is teaching. It doesn't matter what platform or what, this ain't a fad for us. We've been doing this for a long, long time. So, especially myself, I've been doing this since I was 15. So, we didn't have YouTube, Facebook, any of these things, but we did use every venue. Every venue we had to get the word out. So, back in the days, it was 3 hours plus a class. I mean, y'all see like Sabbath class, right? That's how class, can go almost every day. Every class day, I should say. So, we've always had like about 3 days of class, and those classes they can go 4 or 5 hours, but once again, we're in an age to where you have it accessible to you. Of course, we're dealing with our brothers and sisters that there's topics that we're finding out that we touch on that might not be touched on in other areas or other schools. So we try to facilitate that too. So, I just wanted to know that, because I'm thinking like, in my head, I was just thinking, I could be wrong. I know, don't get at me. But I could be wrong. But I was thinking like, man, brothers and sisters really 6 days a week? Or are they getting bored? Because Israel gets bored quick.
Yep.
Yeah, Israel's attention, they like, yeah. So where my mind was, and I'm being real with y'all, I was thinking maybe we just do 3 days of class and it won't be overkill. You know what I mean? Because a lot of these topics...
Oh, through Houston...
You know what I mean? In what Dawiyad's saying too, like when he says meat. See, the problem with that, Dawiyad, is that going over topics, like if you pay attention to people that just log in, right? And we be on these milk topics, right? Or basic topics. Just think about the people that log in and don't get that. So you have a constant dealing with online, a constant flux of new people that come in that don't have the basics. So we're going over revelation topics or things of that nature. It's like cats they're gonna be like, what the hell? What are y'all talking about? And a lot of times cats is turned away because a lot of you're shoving the meat. Granted, we maybe you know what we need to do? We need to do a officers class to where it's only for the officers. And we're getting there. We're getting to that point. We got a few brothers that are taking the officers test. When we get a few more officers, what we'll do is probably go to 5 days of class, and then for the officers have a day set aside. Just like Sundays, a day set aside for the sisters that are, and I'm just using this word, that are elder sisters. We have a class put aside for them. So maybe that's what we need to do for the officers, because I get it too. A lot of classes, you after a certain while, you might say, okay, I understand that concept, but we need to do the officers classes. That's what we need to do. See, it's good that I asked this. All right, well, did Jermaine hit back yet?
Yeah, he said, I appreciate all the classes. Sometimes I'll get uninterested when a bro is talking about food and eating burgers.
You're talking about the examples? You're talking about you gotta let that go, brother. Let that go, because like relating to the people is what you're going to have to do. When you become a teacher and you go through the process, you're going to have to be able to, through your experiences, relate to the individuals with your experiences. Me being in the truth since 15, I might have a little bit more experience to talk about certain things than a brother that been in 3 years, 4 years, 10 years, or whatever, 15 years. It is a little different. It's a little different experiences. So when you start teaching, you're gonna see that you're going to be lost for words based on your experience. Not all the time a man is quick to understand he got to talk for 2 hours straight with a wisdom and understanding and relating. So brothers use things to relate to the body, and that every class ain't about burgers and all that. You're talking about topics and points that maybe the brother was trying to show about food and lusting of the flesh and things of that nature. So don't be narrow-minded, because that's frivolous. That's a frivolous idea to think that is supposed to get your mind swayed a little bit. I'm talking about real things like the topics. Now I could see also if a brother goes on a 2-hour rant about burgers, that's a whole different story. Then we would smack him upside the head. But other than that, brothers ain't talking about that for no 2 hours or nothing like that. What else we got?
Could maybe sometimes the sisters class go online as well?
No, because those sister class are for sisters that been here that get a little more intimate. See, everything can't be online. You can't talk to people and deal with certain issues for everybody to hear. As you well know, look at Facebook. Look at Facebook and look at people throwing all their trash out there. The simple fact is this: we got people new coming in all the time learning. So we know that you believe that everybody comes into truth and they all start floating in the Hebrew language, in white robes, but that's not the case. So there's certain issues that new people don't need to deal with. That your laundry don't need to be. Everybody don't need to know about that. And this is in every arena. There's people that got issues that are going to be a little more specific. So we got to facilitate the venue for them to express themselves without everybody knowing this. So if you're coming to class, if you're going to class and you're helping out and you're moving past the new phase, then we can hit you with that link too. But those links are, the ones offline is for the reason for not everybody to hear what is going on in the school. Everybody don't need to hear that. You know what I mean? Because cats are slow. They don't know how to judge things. You know what I mean? As you see, look at the comments that we get sometimes online. People don't know how to judge things. They spiritual judgment. They'll judge you wrong. And I'm not saying that the brother Jermaine is doing this. I'm just saying that we know Jermaine, so we could talk to him. You know what I mean? Like that. But if it was another person, it would really throw him off, right? Like Jermaine, we know him. He's been around. But if it was another person, it'd be like, yeah, man, I don't mess with them. They talk about burgers all the time.
Right.
You know what I mean? You see what I'm saying? It's very small things that people can't handle. So, no, we're not going to put those online. Okay? All right? So, what else? Yeah.
Karatazaya said, Khan, it would be nice if there were a sisters class maybe once or twice out of the week online.
Right. Well, another thing is that, we do the women's classes, but here's the thing: when we deal with sisters class, everybody got to communicate. So it got to be in a communication, whether y'all be on online or not, And maybe that's what we'll do. We'll switch it over to where we just do nothing but women questions during that time, during those days. Once again, I'm glad I brought it up because it's another good idea that's coming out that we could do women's class for the ones that do want to do it online and ask their questions online, right? We could do that. So I'll talk to Quatzazop about that. Let's see if we can fit that in there. What else?
WL said, to the intent of those which are desirous to learn and are addicted to these things might profit much more in living according to the law. I appreciate the classes and everything you guys do. You do on all your channels. Another brother said, no, I missed the edification of the word and the brothers when they're off YouTube during the high holy days. I'm excited when class is back. I learned tons from every class. I really appreciate the teaching.
Yeah. All praises to the Most High. Remember, we're scums under your toenails, so we're nothing. You know what I mean? We're the dirt under the ground. So all grace, power, glory to the Most High. We're just trying to do our part. That's it. You know what I mean? So do our part, teach our people, man, wake our nation up. But I'm glad y'all are telling me this because in my head I was thinking maybe it's overkill. Maybe 6 days of class is overkill. So I'm glad y'all are talking about it. What else?
Mustafa said, also having different priests that we usually don't get is another plus, like Mashaba and Nagaya Banabad.
Yeah, that's why we have accessible things they're doing. Now, to say that, remember, they have their zone. We can't pull them all the way to our zone all the time. They've been doing work for a long time too. So if they're moving back and forth from San Antonio to Albuquerque and trying to get those things rolling in Albuquerque, it's not always going to be there. You got the Blog Talk Radio too also, okay? So y'all can go on there and get all the old shows or whatever new shows they're doing on there.
And actually, San Antonio has a channel.
San Antonio has a channel. They're not live yet, but we'll get them there. We're nudging them. You know, a lot of old school brothers don't give a damn about YouTube, which I get it. But what I'm having, the conversation I'm having with these brothers is, it's not about YouTube. It's not about fame. It's not about Facebook. It's not about none of that. It's about using the utensils to get the word out. You know, I know a lot of brothers that just, they don't care to get online. It's all good. But I'm trying to get to them to say, okay, what you have to offer is needed for a lot of people. You know, and it can only, it's on them. You can't force them. All right. So what else? That was it. All right. What's up?
Oh yeah, there's actually a question.
What's the question?
This is by Juanita Rogers. Was Ruth a Moabitess? Is she in the lineage of YAHAWASHI?
Yeah. Now there came about, and this is why when I talk about these topics and things that newly sprung up within the last 8-9 years, I gotta give you the whole picture. Newly, it has sprung up that brothers are saying she's not. But since I came in the truth almost 30 years now, we've always taught what was in the scriptures, which it says she was a Moabitess.
Okay.
It says she was, then that's what it applied to.
Okay.
All right? That's what it said.
That's what it is.
That's what it is.
That's what it's gonna be.
Now, there's been brothers that fear any Gentile in the scriptures as though it's gonna change something. It's not gonna change anything, man. It doesn't matter. There's Gentiles that are going to do right things. There's Gentiles that did do right things and feared the Most High. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, Israel don't understand that the whole earth is going to praise and bow down to the Creator. We're not going to have, and I heard Quatzazop talking about this the other day, we're not going to have the Gentiles in slavery to eternity. Hard bondage is what I'm saying. Israel is going to always rule the world when Christ come back. But hard bondage is going to be let up after a certain time. Right? It's after a certain time, we're going to let the nations, okay, we're still over you, but the get to that yard, go pick my toes, that's going to be let up after a while. And all nations are going to follow the laws and commandments. So we get these instances in the scriptures. And why I have to bring it out like this is because as you go through the rabbit hole of YouTube and, well, this camp teaches it. No, this camp don't teach. This camp, that's bull. They just started teaching. How about that? Let's start out with that they just started teaching. So this came up within the last few years. But what was originally taught was the scriptures. What we seen in there, it didn't need to be stretched. I sat down and I got it from my elders. And it says what it says. But I think there's a lot of fear that being that we're righteous Gentiles, that's going to change something about slavery or captivity. It doesn't change nothing. The promises still have to be said. That being said, where we at?
Ruth. This is going to be. I have the exact spot. The land of Moab. Get that real quick.
I thought you had it. My bad. My bad. What happened? Another question?
No,
What happened?
it's just about Ruth. When you look her up on Wikipedia.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so very good question.
Yes.
Go
Ruth
ahead.
chapter 4 and verse 10.
Go ahead.
It says, "Moreover, Ruth the Moabitess, the wife of Mahlon, have I purchased to be my wife, to raise up in the name of the dead upon his inheritance."
Right. Now, I done heard brothers is going through maps and this was the Israelite. I mean, we got to understand that the whole Bible ain't talking about Israelites. It's talking about us encountering with a lot of Gentiles. So we went in amongst the Canaanites, Girgasites, Jebusites. We went amongst the Assyrians. All these nations that we went into captivity with, everyone wasn't just Israelites. So I think, once again, you will hear contrary, because the fear of her being a Moabite, and she submitted herself to the law and to the commandments, that was going to take away from us Israelites. It's not. Remember that. All the promises, all the covenants, all the contracts still have to be set forth to the children of Israel. So it says she was a Moabite. All right. Now, once again, her being a Moabite, that doesn't change the lineage of anybody, because the seed is determined by who? By the man. So let's get that real quick, the pedigree real quick, and then go to Romans real quick, through the fall of them. I mean, we can go a lot of different points on this topic. Read that.
Numbers chapter 1 and verse 18. And they assembled all the congregation together.
Right.
On the first day of the second month. And they declared their pedigrees.
Right.
After their families.
Right.
By the house of their fathers.
Right. So it didn't matter if just like now, you got a lot of brothers marrying and being with white women. Israelites being with white women, Chinese women, African women. We know these kids come out with different features, characteristics, but their lineage is determined on the man. The seed, the sperm, the copulation is like that apple seed. You plant that into the apple seed in a banana field, you don't get a banapple.
Right.
You just get a apple in a banana field. Right? That's how it works. So these children are still, the women doesn't have no bearing on that lineage. Okay, if that was a thought in your mind. The scriptures is telling us. So answering that question, I was going to go to Romans, just showing you about the Gentiles, but I mean, if you have any other questions on that, just ask. I mean, we went to the scripture. The scripture says she was a Moabitess, right? The scripture in Numbers says that the lineage is determined by the husband, by the man. So there really shouldn't be no discrepancy, because no matter what, if she was a heathen or not, it doesn't have no bearing on the lineage of YAHAWASHI. All right? What other women in the scriptures were heathens?
Hagar.
Huh? Hagar. She was a what?
I don't know exactly what.
Right.
She was heathen.
She was Egyptian. She was an Egyptian, right? Who was with her? Abraham, right? Now, what other women were that bore us? Right?
When you go to Judah, he dealt with a Hamite woman.
Judah dealt with a Hamite woman. So you got these instances where Israelites dealt with women of other nations. Now, Gershom, I don't know if y'all are familiar with this. And I'm just throwing this out here so y'all can look at this. Gershom was whose son? Moses' son, right? So Moses' son came from who? He only had heathen ribs. But Gershom had a order within the priesthood. It didn't matter that the woman was a Gentile, right? The scriptures, and I'm trying to just go through it so we can get to the next question or class. But when you look at the sister that in Joshua, what's her name? She let them in. Help me out with the name. Come on now, everybody can't forget. Right.
That was
Rahab.
Yep.
Rahab the harlot. Right? Right, everybody. Right. So y'all understand that there's Gentiles that we're all through the scriptures. For another instance, just to test y'all brains, since there's so many scholars out there. David committed adultery with who? The wife. Right, but he was a Hittite, right?
Uriah.
In David's army, right?
Uriah the Hittite.
And it said he was a godly man, right?
He was a God-fearing man, but he wasn't a Hebrew Israelite.
He wasn't a Hebrew Israelite. And he was what? In David's army, right?
He was a captain.
Did the Most High say, oh, that's a heathen? You know what? You can commit adultery with her because there's a heathen. No. So I'm just showing y'all there was instances that there's heathens that are going to do right. There's heathens that's going to do right now. They're going to give you food. They're going to give you money. They're probably giving some of these camps money, man. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody doing it ain't no heathens giving us money. But there's probably some heathens, and I've heard through the grapevine that some of these camps that are more successful, that they're getting certain money. And I'm not talking about payoff money. I'm saying, hopefully not. But these cats are getting money from heathens. Right? What you going to be like? Well, you a heathen? I'm not going to take this milli from you. Nah, you know, long as it don't come with no attachments.
Right?
You know what I mean? Right? Long as you ain't got to give up no shoot or be down with death row. Or, you know what I mean? And do something defiled. Then you going to take it. So it's the scriptures say they shall seek to please the poor. Their children shall seek to please the poor. So I was just throwing out these little moments in the scriptures to remind you, sister, that just because there's heathens in the scriptures, because that's going to come up. You're going to hear, oh, no, she was an Israelite. It doesn't matter. She hadn't had an effect on his lineage either way it goes. And just because there's righteous nations or a person from another nation that follows the laws and commandments, does that take away from you being a Hebrew Israelite? Does that mean they're not going to go into captivity? No. It don't take it away. It just means that they're trying to be right. Right? If you was a heathen, what would you be trying to do? And you knew this truth.
Oh, get right.
Right? I'll be doing everything in my power.
Better pay some homage.
Yeah, bro. I'd be like, man.
Better pay your tribute.
All I got is, you know, whatever I can do is for y'all, right? Right. In the kingdom, I'm gonna do this so the Most High can have mercy on me. Right? And you might have me a house nigga instead of a field nigga. Right? Come on, let's be real with this. You're going to do anything and everything. So, you know, it's like Quatzazab said the other day. We're going to tell everybody right here, we get about 400 views on an average on a video, 300 some change. We're going to tell all the heathens, listen, all you heathens, don't log in, clock out, don't watch us.
No heathens allowed.
You know, it don't make no sense, man. We got to understand the world is going to bow. The thing is that right now, our mission and our goal is to wake up our people. For Israel, that they might be saved. So, what else we got?
There's a couple of questions. Is it possible to just have a question and answer class? Those Dawiyat.
That's what we're doing now. We always have that Dawiyat. We're like, come on, man. How many classes have you been in where we're already what? 7:45 in? If this goes to like 8:20, I'm not gonna do nothing but questions. So we always do that. Every time I ask if y'all have questions, if we consistently have questions after questions, it'll go to be in a question class. So it's always open for that, right? But if there's only one person that has one question, then we'll answer the question and move into a topic. All right. What?
Is Kawakab still teaching?
Kawakab is teaching out in Guatemala. Yeah, he's out there getting down, getting busy, doing what he's been doing over there for 20-some years. Yeah. What else?
He might have to retype it, but it says, my question, my son asked, will the mighty men of the Bible be in the wilderness, or will they go straight to the kingdom? I think it's if.
Read it again? I don't understand that.
It says, question. My son asked, I'm thinking it's if. Asked if, will the mighty men of the Bible
Will they be in the wilderness or go straight to the kingdom? What we got to understand about the wilderness. The wilderness is a purging time, right? Let's go there real quick. According to what we have in the scriptures, go to Ezekiel. The wilderness is a purging time. Okay, so when you say mighty men, everybody's going to be humble. The only mighty men that's going to be mighty is the angels and YAHAWASHI corralling the Israelites to be in order. It's a situation where all of us scattered throughout the world, the order has to be established in the wilderness as you see. As you see right now, there's too many headstrong men that think because they do got a YouTube channel, a school, or teach the word that they're Jesus Christ themselves, right? They think that they're the, you hear us say it, they're the home of the truth. Nobody can be taught but by them. Like it's those. I'm the comforter. The second only to Christ.
I'm the voice of the Most High.
The voice of God. Like when you hear these things, blasphemy. But you got that when we're brought to the wilderness, all that has got to be eradicated from us, and there's got to be given some order, just like it was in the wilderness with Moses. There was given order. So a lot of us are going to make it out. A lot of these brothers, man, that open up their mouth in the wrong way, they have sincerity. Everybody's not counted out, and the Most High is going to judge them. He's going to judge all of us. So we're going to be judged for what's in our heart. What were our true intentions? So, you know, you got a lot of these brothers following the laws and commandments, but inwardly that spiritual man ain't being worked out. So read where we're at. Ezekiel, what is it?
20, 33.
Yeah, Ezekiel 20.
Ezekiel chapter 20, verse 33.
Yeah.
As I live, says the Lord God, surely with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm and with fury poured out will I rule over you. And I will bring you out from the people and will gather you out of the countries wherein you are scattered.
Right. Now, without going over a whole class on this topic, because we can, remember this, you got all these things that just happened, the destruction, us being delivered, you got us going to this place, the wilderness. There's many guessings of where this is. The scriptures don't go in clarification where this place is going to be. But we know it's going to be a place that we're all going to be taken to, okay, coming from this captivity, right? So when you think, based on your question, is there going to be mighty men? Man, right now, everybody's going to be tucking their tail and scared. When you got angels around you and YAHAWASHI around you, I don't know about how bad certain of these niggas are, but I ain't going to be walking around like, oh yeah, ha ha, I've been in the truth 30 years, shalom,
About time.
I'm going to be having my head tucked like, you know what I mean? Like, God, where you need me at, sir? I don't give a damn how long I've been in this truth. If I'm like,
You're running to get that.
yeah, what's that you need? Michael or YAHAWASHI? It ain't going to be walking in there like, yeah, I'm a mighty man. Yeah. You know what I mean? No, it's going to be men humbled. When the scriptures say every knee shall bow, that means that YAHAWASHI is going to humble every human on earth. So, no, they ain't going to be no mighty men. Now, afterwards, when YAHAWASHI instills the correct understanding what is a mighty man, then we're going to be able to see, wow, this is how we actually are mighty. Because a lot of things, man, got to be instilled in us from you know, as we read down, you're going to see. We ain't going to just have it all. Okay, go ahead.
And I will bring you out from the people.
Right.
And will gather you out of the countries where you are scattered.
So this is the process leading up to this wilderness. Go ahead.
With a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm and with fury poured out.
Right. So once again, we're scattered through the four corners of the earth. He's going to gather us from all nations, right? Some of us is going to come out of here in the chariots. Some is going to come on ships from other nations, and we're going to be brought to where where this wilderness is, right? Because this is the first process. Go ahead.
And I will bring you into the wilderness of the people.
Uh-huh.
And there will I plead with you face to face.
Right.
Like as I plead with your fathers.
Right. So as you see, plead with your fathers, don't be deceived by the word usage. Plead. You're thinking pleading is how did he plead with our fathers? Meaning that he took us out in the wilderness and he gave us a chance and an opportunity to improve certain things that was in us. And through this process, we revealed that, our forefathers revealed that they were a faithless generation. So a lot of them he had to kill off, right? So that pleading means that the Most High is going to improve us as a nation during this time. Go ahead.
Like as I plead with your fathers in the wilderness.
So it's giving you a key point right there. If you wanted to know how this process or part of this process was going to happen, it was going to happen like when we were in the wilderness. It's clear. It's simple. Go ahead.
Like as I pleaded with your fathers in the wilderness of the land of Egypt.
Right.
So will I plead with you, saith the Lord God.
Right. So, y'all see that?
God.
So I will plead with you. Same process, right? He's going to reveal us. Go ahead.
And I will cause you to pass under the rod.
Right. Why? The rod is the law, right? The rod is also a utensil to use to put you in order, right? To beat you, to correct you. So if you relate that to the ancient days, look at what he did with us. The law corrected us. Because the process that we had to go through revealed where our heart was. So there's going to be a process just like this. And what happened in the wilderness? You got brothers trying to rise up against Moses. Yeah. You got Israel were faithless. You got people were doubters, complainers, murmurers, backbiters. All these things that you practice now will come with you into the wilderness. So you're preparing and you're rehearsing what you're going to be. So this is why our school and what we do online is constant reminding brothers and sisters that you better, all the show and garments and beards, that's for the birds. There better be a spiritual working within your inward man to be renewed daily. If not, you're going to come, the fakeness is going to, when YAHAWASHI come, the phony part, I'm a hardcore Hebrew yelling Israelite, that's going to go out the door when an angel 50 feet or however tall is standing in front of you.
Your natural muscle memory
is
going to literally do what you normally do. That's what muscle memory is. It's like whenever you lift weights, you're so used to lifting it. It's like when you get back underneath it, it's natural. But it's the same thing whenever you deal with the spirit part.
Yeah.
If you ain't spiritual, the natural man's going to come out.
Yeah.
Hey, brother, I'm going to need you to go over here. Hold on. Who?
Right. You're going to see the pride comes up.
Not knowing that was an angel. You look at the brother like, you know that was an angel, but he didn't work on that. So, the Most High is checking that.
Yeah, so we got to just remind ourselves, and like I said, our part, what we try to do, because this is how we think in the scriptures. The carnal, the physical, that's all good. But we got to be working on these things that's going to really burst out of you in those last days, which is the things that are inside of you. So this is what's going to happen. So answering your question, does it sound like any mighty men are going to be there? No, there's going to be only humbled men ready to learn and listen, or what's going to happen. Go ahead.
And I will bring you into the bond of the covenant.
Right.
And I will purge out from among you the rebels.
Right.
And them that transgress against me.
Right. So you see that? He's going to purge out the rebels. Now, what is a rebel? Watch. Look up the rebel. Check this out real quick, and we'll move on to the next.
We got it's the second question regarding the wilderness. A rebel One who willfully violates a law.
Right. Read it again.
One who willfully violates a law.
Right. The one who willfully violates a law. What else you got?
One who revolts from the government to which he owes allegiance.
Now, why would a person being brought into the wilderness, this Hebrew Israelite, do these things?
Because he didn't work on himself?
Because he didn't work on himself. Right?
Huh?
There's a lot. It's still old man themes in him. So just to answer your question, there's gonna only be humble men, man. And if you ain't humble, the rebels are gonna be cast out. During that time, the Most High is gonna bring forth that mighty spirit out of you. Okay, yeah.
Number 3 on that. It says, one who disobeys the king's proclamations. So.
Yep.
Because that's the King of Kings telling you what to do.
Yep.
God.
Yes, sir. All right.
That's crazy when you think about how much pride a man has to have to really battle against. You seeing chariots fly around. You got angelic beings walking around, and men and women that's literally like, nah, I ain't listening to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, when you look at it, like it said, like it was just saying about him pleading with our forefathers in Egypt when we came out of Egypt. He killed Korah and Dathan. He killed those 2-day periods. He killed like 3,500 people.
Right.
You know what I mean? So he's going to do the same thing before we get into our kingdom, or before we try to establish it. He did the same thing to Israel, killing a bunch of people. Aside from wandering in the wilderness for 40 years before they finally got into the kingdom.
Right. So, will the forefathers Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob be in the kingdom? Yeah, but you got to think about it. These men have already a seat. They already have a seat in that day. What is it, Matthews? It's in Matthews, right? It said should be in the kingdom. Let me get that for you real quick. I think it's in Matthews. It says that, man, it's right on my brain. It says that, because he reformulated his question, y'all. So we're going back over. He asked about were Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, were they in the kingdom?
Or will they be in the wilderness?
Will they be in the wilderness? You got to think about the seat and the order that the Most High is already setting up, right? Why would the Most High have to put them in there? Think about it. If they're resurrected, right? And this is what we're going to touch on a little bit tonight. The scriptures say they should be as the angels. So they're not going to have to go through that process. They're not going to have to go through that process. They already have a seat waiting for them. All right? It's in Matthews. We'll find it. And what else do we got while I'm looking at this?
We have another. Oh yeah, Dawiyad asked.
Go to Matthews real quick. 19. What you got? You got something? Aria?
Yeah.
Go to Matthews 19 and 28. What you got?
Matthew 8 and 11.
Which one's that one?
He said, "Sit down with Abraham."
Right, yo. Put that one first. Whoa, let me see here. Hold on. Read the one I want first, and then you'll read that second. Read Matthews 19, 28, and then you got what?
Matthew chapter 8 verse 11.
Right. Then he's going to go to Matthews 8 and 11. Read Matthews 19 and 28.
Matthew chapter 19 and verse 28.
Yeah.
And Jesus said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel.
Like, think about it. Are the 12 apostles going to have to go through the wilderness? You got to think about this. They have seats already prepared for them. in the kingdom, right? They already thrones. They already got their throne. These cats that died, chopped up, right? The Most High already got, remember, the Most High ain't sending everybody's soul back. Some of them, man, they worked hard enough. You got chopped the hell in half. Most High is probably like, listen, you don't got to worry about going back. Just like, remember, he told Esdras, it's like, don't put your number with these people. So we know that these men already have set thrones waiting for them. Go ahead, finish that.
Come. Verse 29.
No, so you did, right? Go to where you at?
This is Matthew chapter 8 and verse 11.
Go ahead.
And I say unto you, that many shall come from the east and west, and shall sit down with Abraham and Isaac and Jacob in the kingdom of heaven.
Right, so that answers your question. Yes, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is going to be there. But we can see from Matthew 19:28, these cats already got thrones waiting for them. They already got thrones waiting for them. We're working for our throne. We're working for our crown, right? Abraham, go back. He's already been found faithful. Isaac, Jacob, our forefathers. So them being put through that process, you're gonna see that's gonna be needed for bro, that's gonna be needed for all of us heathens coming out. All these Israelites moving like Americans.
Yeah.
And Egyptians and Ethiopians and Philadelphians and New Yorkers and bro, that's for them to be brought out into the place and say, okay, let's weed this out of them. Let's pass them under the law and show them what the laws, where they erred in, and let's set them right. So we can bring out of them, might be officers, hundreds, tens, thousands in this ranking system. You know what I mean? Just like it was in the wilderness. So, yeah. Just answering your question, what you got?
No, just going in about, the reason they're in that seat, like you said, what they went through.
Yeah.
It's Judith chapter 8 and verse 26.
Judith 8 and 26.
Just going on a point about how they went through a little bit more of a examination from the Most High.
Right.
What they went through. Mm-hmm. Read where you at.
Judith chapter 8 and verse 26.
Go ahead.
Remember what things he did to Abraham and how he tried Isaac.
Just going with the last scripture, just showing that these men went through the process of the Most High to, listen, he got the throne set up for him.
Yeah.
You put in good work. You've been tried. I put you in the book so you can be that example. Come on, you paid your dues. Read.
And what happened to Jacob in Mesopotamia
Come on.
of Syria.
Read.
When he kept the sheep of Laban, his mother's brother.
Yeah, they had to have patience going through those trials. Go ahead.
For he had not tried us in the fire.
Yeah, he ain't tried us in the fire. Read.
As he did them.
Because they went through it. Abraham had to
There you
damn
go.
near kill Jacob or
There
Isaac.
you go. Right.
Jacob got twisted around with his ribs and all the things that he had to do with running away from Esau.
Right.
Bringing forth the 12 tribes.
Right.
Read.
For the examination of their hearts.
Yeah, because that was the examination of their heart. Just like the wilderness is going to be the examination of our heart.
That's
Oh yeah, we're
That's
going to
a
be
killer right
examined.
there.
The Most High has given us the knowledge now, but the real examination, that final exam, is going to be the wilderness. Rehearse the righteous acts. That's what's going on right now. You're
Right.
practicing. You're literally practicing before the test. But then when that day comes, that's the test. But our forefathers went through the examination.
Right. That's beautiful because why they gonna be putting that again?
Right.
When all of these men died faithful.
God.
So keep that in mind. Hopefully that answers your question. What else we got?
We have. This is.
That one's a killer right there.
Dawiyad asks, will we be spiritual or physical in the wilderness?
We're gonna be physical. That process of the spirit taking over. Just think about it. Think about the question you're asking. Right? Flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom. If you're still in a rebel, if we're still in a mind state where we gotta pick out the rebels, you're still in a basic carnal mind state. Right? So a lot of that gotta be cast out. Now, this doesn't mean that the 144,000 are going to be in that mind. That don't mean that. All right? They're going to be in the right mind. This is still a process that got to happen to a lot of Israel. Now, being that we don't make ourselves of the number, you can't say who it's going to be. You see that? So we lump all of ourselves in there and be able to say, okay, we're all going to have to go through this process. Outside of the Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, outside of the brothers that's already set on the 12 thrones, outside of the 144,000, right? So remember, I'm saying this in the context of we don't know who is 144,000, right? It could be you, it could not be, but this process has got to happen to a lot of Israelites, okay? So yeah, what else? Is that it?
No questions. It's fine. We have. There's a question that says, what is it? How can you tell if a dream is trying to get a message or if it's just some crazy dream?
Well, remember with dreams, the Bible tells us how to deal with those dreams, all right? So it first tells us in Ecclesiastes, if y'all can go there real quick, because I know y'all already was moving. Ariel was already, he had 10 scriptures up, Ecclesiastes. Let's go to the one that tells us how dreams come first real quick. These armor bearers here, man. Let's see here, and you'll see why this is the first one I'm going to, because this is the first scripture. Kind of like you got to wrap your head around it in this way first. If not, you're gonna be trying to pick your dreams apart, right? So where we at? It's Ecclesiastes in the Bible. The multitude of business. Let me see here.
Should have that.
It is in Ecclesiastes, right? Dreams come through. 5 and 3. Yeah, Ecclesiastes 5 and 3. And then we'll jump over to 38, 34 and 1, 34 and 1, and then 25. Go ahead.
Ecclesiastes chapter 5 and verse 3.
Uh-huh.
For a dream cometh through the multitude of business.
Right. So you got to be careful with dreams. All right. You can't always be jumping around and thinking dreams, you know, it was for a reason. We don't deal with the zodiac. All right. I got to say that clear because I think somebody must have misunderstood something I was saying before and thought we don't deal with the zodiac. We don't deal with those things. So you don't supposed to be getting zodiac books, dream books, and trying to figure out your dreams. Why? Because the white man's not going to be able to tell you your dreams. Yep. And then witches and warlocks, the Most High said is what? Should be burnt. So you're not supposed to be dealing with witchcraft. And that's when you get into the zodiac, of what they call the zodiac now, because it's not what the scriptures is talking about. The tree of life, or the fruits that come from heaven. What they're dealing with, remember, anything that this nation is proposing to us and proposing on you is garbage. So don't get them mixed up. Well, the scriptures tell you about the 12 fruits that come every month. That's not what the hell the little white girl is talking about when she wrote, you know, with the tongue ring with sage around her house. Right. You know what I mean? She's talking about some madness. Right. Right?
That she did not learn from the scriptures.
Yeah, she did not learn from the scriptures. So don't be thinking it's the same thing, all right? Let's not get it twisted. Dreams come through a multitude of working. Your day. How many of y'all ate a good sandwich at 12 o'clock at night, fell asleep, and all you have like all these dreams from a sandwich? So remember, dreams can come for many reasons. And it could be the last thing, the last movie you looked at. You looked at The Grudge, and then you couldn't even go to sleep because you looked in the back of your room and you thought somebody was standing in the back, right, on the wall, backwards. And then you went to sleep, and then who was running at you?
Oh, girl.
She was running at you backwards down the stairs, and you're like, oh, why am I dreaming this? Because that's how fickle your mind is. Comes to a multitude of work. Your daily. You could be consciously thinking how much you hate this person. Oh, I had this dream. I stabbed this person 1,000,000 times. Well, what the hell were you thinking about? Right. It could have been that. Right? Or it could be some build-up animosity from another. See, dreams are fickle, so you got to be careful with that, entertaining these dreams. A dream and a vision is totally something different. All right? Dreams are just your daily things that come to your head, things that you might happen and go on in your life. Right? A vision is something totally different, right? When they have visions in the scriptures, you got the angel coming in front of them telling them, listen, this is what happened.
God.
This is what it be.
Unless you Daniel.
Right. Unless you Daniel. Right. Go ahead. Go ahead.
God. For a dream coming through the multitude of business.
Right.
And a
There's
fool's
another
voice
verse
is known
It's a
by the multitude
It's
of words.
Right, 34. Right. So y'all, hopefully you get that one. Go to Ecclesiastes 34. Yeah. Ecclesiastes 34 real quick. Just on the dreams. Dreams 34:1. I mean dreams. Ecclesiasticus 34 verse 1. Go ahead.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 34 verse 1.
Uh-huh.
The hopes of a man void of understanding are vain and false.
Right. So you know why he starts out with that? Because you got to see how fickle your mind is, especially a person void of understanding. Someone that don't have understanding, what are they trying to do? They trying to, once again, the yogis, the yogi eggs, the tarot cards.
Trying to get into your stones.
They're trying to burn the stage. I gotta bring peace around myself. I'm gonna burn my sage. I'm gonna play with the stones. Why? Because they're void of understanding. They're trying to look for hope in the wrong things, right? So they're doing it through every other venue except for meditating on the word, praying, fasting, and asking the Creator, hey, what is this? And most of all, using the wisdom and understanding to look at your condition. Right? We went over that the other day, just about the condition of a person that might want to have a child. Right. You don't got to go to a damn tarot card reader. All you got to do is go through the scriptures and see, oh, well, this might be the reasons. Right? This is why the Most High stops that. This is why the Most High blesses that. Right? Let me do, like the scriptures say, examine and have judgment. You don't got to go to the witch to do that. Right. You understand? Right. You don't got to get your nipples pierced, your tongue pierced. You know what I mean? You know, spill a little blood. You don't got to do none of that with the Most High.
No seances.
Right.
No
so
chicken blood.
No chicken blood. Read it again.
The hope of a man void of understanding are vain.
So watch where your hopes are. Because when you start looking to the wrong things, then dreams, you're like, whew, I had a dream. Yep. Little black boys and little white girls. They're going to be holding hands. Man. Right? Yeah, and the little black boy's going to get his head kicked into the damn curve. Did you dream that?
I used to bang on that scripture. Oh, my God. I used to cover the truth on that scripture.
Right? So think about, be careful where you're going with these dreams. Go ahead.
The hopes of a man void of understanding are vain and false.
Read.
And dreams lift up fools.
So why? Because, man, you're gonna see you can't determine where these dreams are coming from. Is it coming from how much you ate? Is it coming from the bad diarrhea you had? Yep. Is it coming from you got knocked upside your head? Yep. Where are they coming from?
Subconsciously. Yep.
Subconscious, right?
Music. All the movies that you watch, a lot of times that literally seeps in. A lot of people don't know that. Your eyes, what you see, then it's constantly in your ear. Just like a brother said that he has our class as background noise. Well, what kind of background noise do you have in your house? Yeah. What you entertaining that you don't really
Is it
think it's
Rihanna?
right.
Is it what do you call the sip guy? The
Sauce Walker.
Yeah, is it that? Because that could be feeding in your mind.
Yep.
Come on, finish.
Come. Verse 2.
Whoso
regarded dreams is like him that catcheth at a shadow.
Right. So you see how, I mean, this is very clear, right?
God.
If you chase dreams, it's like you catching at a shadow, meaning that everything can't be determined what that dream is. Right? It's like a shadow, a resemblance from one thing to another. Right? Go ahead.
And follow it after the wind.
Right. You follow after the wind. Could you catch the wind?
Wow.
No, you can't. Go ahead.
Verse 3. The vision of dreams is the resemblance of one thing to another.
Right. So the visions of dreams is resemblance of one thing to another. It can mean things. But the problem is that majority of us don't know. Majority of us don't know. You got to sit back and play it out. And let things play out. Right? Go ahead.
Even as the likeness of a face to a face.
Yeah, like you looking into a mirror, right? You know, you look in the mirror, you see it, but it's a resemblance of it. It's not what it is, but it can be a resemblance of that. Go ahead.
Of an unclean thing, what can be cleansed?
Why did he say that? He's talking about dreams, then he comes back and says of an unclean thing, what can be cleansed? Why does he say that?
Dreams.
Think, huh?
Thoughts. I say dreams give you unclean thoughts or whatnot.
Read it again.
Of an unclean thing, what can be cleansed?
What he's talking about dreams. What does that mean, Arya?
If your mind's already defiled, dirty, what clean or what goodness is going to come from?
There you go. So you already got negative thoughts. You're already negative, and then you have dreams, and then you chase those dreams. You're really gonna be gone because, and now when you deal with those witches and you deal with those warlocks, those brujas,
Oh yeah.
they chase their mind
Kind.
because what comes from their mind is unclean.
Kind.
So what are they chasing? Unclean demons,
Kind.
spirits, spiritual wickedness in high places. Go ahead.
And from that thing which is false, what truth can come?
Ooh, he just killed all humanity. He just killed every human on earth with that. he said you're false. And what can come from you that is real and pure? Most High make you feel like crap right there, huh? Go ahead.
Verse 5. Divinations.
Right, and this is why you got to be careful with that, because it gets into divinations. Now you want to find out, like Saul. Remember, Saul first threw all the witches out of the kingdom.
Yep.
Right, when the Most High wasn't talking to him through the prophets, through Samuel,
He dipped off.
he went what? He wanted to go through divinations.
God.
Yeah,
We went over to the gypsy's door.
Right, she's at the fair. You want to go? Yeah, do you read my palm?
Right?
Like, bro, leave that little midget demon alone.
God.
No, damn well she's gonna bring spirits on your kids.
Sharp chin.
Right, so divinations. Be careful, because now you will want to divine to get in them. You want to learn the divine of nations, right? Where the Gentiles tap into, how they get into that witchcraft. And now you got to give up something. It's always something with booty or blood.
Yeah, you know,
It's like, how does that got? Why does it always got to be involved when it comes to divinations and sacrifice? Why I got to give up the booty?
hey, that's
right?
That's something precious.
But
It's precious, man.
but all jokes aside, when it comes to Satan, what you got to always give up?
Booty and blood.
Booty and blood. It's like, what the hell? Or the bloody booty. Like, it's like, ooh. So I'm sorry, man. Let me chill.
That is
But
facts.
Y'all get it.
Con.
It sounds funny, but when you mess with these demons,
It's real.
Oh yeah.
oh man,
And
the rap game, Hollywood,
Yeah.
the dope game,
Con.
you giving up
Yo.
something, man.
There's a new show on Netflix called Hollywood. You might be able to get through episode 1, maybe 2.
Right.
But I like the show because it's showing forth how Hollywood deals when it deals with the industry of the movies. That's anything, movies, music, but it shows what they have to give up. Mm-hmm. You got men giving up their manhood for money, for a role, just a role. They're not talking about money. They're talking about a role. Yeah. They're giving up their security of, again, not dealing with men. Yeah. Now you got to deal with men. Yep. You got women that are being whored around.
Yeah, that's why I said it sounds funny.
Oh yeah.
But come on, y'all. When you deal with divinations and demons, they always want those things. Yeah. Right? Go ahead, read on.
Divinations and soothsaying.
Soothsaying, right? Witchcraft, tarot cards, reading the palm, reading your hand, calling them on the phone, Dionne Warwick for the old school brothers and sisters. All that for the new school age is you get your ball and right, and you start summoning these spirits, and they disguise them by, oh, you're bringing peace.
Oh yeah, you're doing
Peace don't have to come with no damn ball.
Nope. Doing Ouija boards.
We do Ouija boards, right?
Yeah, Ouija boards is real. Mm-hmm. Doing a little
seances and stuff.
Seances, all that.
Man,
seances now is a fad. They're making seances cool, fun. Yeah. What you gotta do? Let's do the Ouija board. Let's have these seances fun. It's cool. It's just for play until you get demons following you home, right?
That's why you don't hear anything about. Oh, listen, you don't hear nothing about Azalea Banks. Azalea Banks was known to do those chicken sacrifices, but that still goes into voodoo. Yeah, it goes into that Santa Maria, and her career is done. You don't know where she went to. She's off in the deep end somewhere.
Zombie zone. Go ahead, finish.
And
dreams. Go ahead.
Are vain.
Are what?
Are vain.
Are what?
Are vain.
Read.
And the heart fancieth.
And the heart fancieth, meaning that just because you wake up, let me write that down, right? You don't know what can come of that. You don't know what that is, right? Go ahead.
As a woman's heart in travail.
Right.
If they be not sent from the Most High.
If they be not what?
Sent from the Most High.
That's a vision. If an angel come to you and say, Shalom, I am angel such and such, and I want you to know this. Right? And then again, if he does come say, Shalom, I'm angel such and such, the scriptures say, try the spirit by the spirit. The scriptures say there should be that if an angel comes to you and tries to divert you from the gospel, beware.
Oh, right.
So you gotta always be on guard. Right? You figure, oh man, the brother came in his hair was nothing but wool. He was dark. He was dark as this. You know what I mean? And he told me, you know what I mean? You know, I gotta do this, I gotta do that to reach the Most High. And it's out of the law, it's out of the spirit, it's out of the word. Then you gotta shut that down. What? Angels can be whatever they want to be. So when you read the scriptures, angels can transform in any form they want. Sometimes they presented themselves as animals, humans with animal heads. So why? Just to scare the hell out of you. To put fear in you. I mean, think about it. Why? Because they can do whatever they want. And when you're in angelic form, and obviously we're not going to be able to go over the brothers class tonight, Jonathan, but I got the class prepared. We will go over it Monday for you. But going back into his topic, his question, when we have that angelic power, bro, you're going to be able to change into anything you want. You're going to be like angels. So we're going to touch on all that. Go ahead.
If they be not sent from the Most High in thy visitation,
right?
Set not thy heart upon them.
Right. So you can't set your heart upon them if they ain't been sent by the Most High. Go ahead.
For dreams have deceived many.
Yeah.
And they have failed that put their trust in them.
Man, I'm going to say it again. We had one brother back in Houston. He came to class, and I love my people, but, you know, he kept thinking that he can read the future. Every time he come in, and when you look in his eyes, it's like, but I had a dream, brother.
He's bugged out.
He was, and you just want to, Yahawah!
Right.
You know, but he was really, and we were trying to show him these scriptures that's plain and clear, right? You can read these yourself. we're giving a little more in-depth edification on it, but come on now. He was really into that. I had dreams and they came to pass. That's fine. But you're tracing the dreams more than the Most High. And I'm not saying dreams ain't going to come to pass. I've had dreams that came to pass. But I ain't talking about, dreams are real. I'm going to say what the commandments are saying. I'm going to say what the law says. Don't chase them. Right? We all had dreams that came to pass. Right? Because the Most High do what? He speaks to you sometimes in your dreams. But who can decipher them? Like just the Most High. Almost 99.9.11%. You can only get the little inch and say, dang, you know what? Dang. And that's afterwards. Right? Show me one cat that had a dream of the lotto numbers and then won the lotto. I'm not saying it ain't happened. I'm just saying you rarely know what your dreams are going to bring forth. Go ahead.
Come. Verse 8. The law shall be found perfect.
But dreams can't be clarified. But what is perfect?
The law
is clear. You don't got to look into the crystal ball. All you got to do is look into the law of light. All you got to do is look into the scriptures. The law is found perfect. I don't need none of that. We don't need none of that. If going back to Saul, if Saul was acting right, he would have had the brother Samuel, the prophet, to come to him and tell him, hey, you're off. If he was in the spirit and the spirit was on him, he would have knew through the spirit of judgment that he was off. He would have knew when the Most High said, listen, it's going to be taken from you. Bruh, drop to your knees and give up. There was nothing you could do if the Creator himself said to you, it's going to be taken from you. Right? You didn't need to go to a dang witch. Right? So this is what we got to see. The law is perfect. Go ahead.
And wisdom is perfection to a faithful mouth.
Right. Whew. That's beautiful, ain't it? Go ahead.
Verse 9. A man that had traveled.
All right. So y'all get that, right? Hopefully we answered that question on that. Yeah.
Dawiyad asked, what will happen to the ones that don't make the cut in the wilderness?
It just said it, bruh. The rebels will be cast out. The rebels are going to be destroyed. Remember, go back to that Ezekiel. It tells you, read it slow. Yep. It's telling you it's going to be like the ancient days. 39. The rebels are going to be cast out. If they don't make it, they're not making it because they're going to be, they're straddling the line. In that day, it's you either hot or cold. You either following or you're rebelling.
38.
Right, so jump back to that verse 38, Dawiyad, and see that the Most High is going to cast out those rebels. Cast out means they're going to be put to death. Right. Was that not clear? Cast out means they're going to be dead. They're going to die. They're going to be purged. They got to start all over. We'll see them in the regeneration in the kingdom. Right? That's what it means. All right? What else? We got 30 minutes left, y'all. Y'all, once again, it's a question class. Y'all got to make sure y'all change the title and the thumbnail. Yeah.
If, like, you were to die, or, like, if we went into the wilderness and, like, we passed, will you remember what we did here?
In the kingdom?
Yeah.
The power that is going to be given to certain individuals. Now, remember, the scriptures don't say what you're asking. Let me say that. It doesn't say specifically what you're asking. Are they going to remember who they were in their past life when they get into the kingdom? But we know this, and this is going to go into his class Monday, that Israel is going to be giving, the 144,000 are going to be giving power, right, on a certain level.
Yeah.
So I would say they might be able to, right? Mm-hmm. Why? Based on YAHAWASHI He knew he was the Son of God. He knew what was his mission. He knew what was his goal. So certain power that YAHAWASHI had, we're going to have. Does that answer your question? Yeah, what's up?
So if we die now, we're gonna go and the kingdom is like this, like how we are.
If you die now, if you die faithful and you die righteous, you have a place prepared for you in the kingdom. Right? Come. If you died right now as a little child.
No, I mean if he comes back. I mean if he comes back.
Explain it again.
If Most High comes back right now.
Right.
And some of us go up there, are we gonna go like how we are?
You're talking about in the spiritual realm?
Yeah.
Or in the physical kingdom? Remember, to get to the spiritual realm, to get to the spiritual kingdom, remember, we can't think like Christians. Everybody's not going to die and we got to all go to the spiritual heaven. That's the process what happens when you die. So there's the heaven on earth is good. You're going to be in your physical body, right? In your physical flesh, like YAHAWASHI. When you die, your body sheds the flesh and goes into the spirit, right? Which is a spiritual body, right? Let's go to 2 Corinthians 5, verse 1. So, two different bodies. So, I understand what you're asking, but this may give you a little bit of better understanding on what you're asking. Read that, 2 Corinthians, right? Is it 2 Corinthians 5 and 1? Her question is,
No, it's
if you die, if you say it again, Shirai.
If he come back now,
4:32.
will we go to the kingdom like
Right, but she's saying if he would have come back, will we go to the kingdom looking like we are right now? Right. But what I'm showing her is that I'm asking her what is she talking about? The spiritual realm or the physical realm? The physical realm, the Most High said you're going to be changed. So your body and the physical is going to be renewed all over again. Meaning that your spiritual body is going to, meaning you're going to be in the flesh like Christ, right? But you're going to have power over the spirit. It goes into the class, once again, that the brother asked about. So you're going to be able to, in the flesh, do things like YAHAWASHI. Have power like him. Right? So, yeah, you're going to be brand new. No, you ain't going to have pimples. No, you ain't going to have, you're going to be able to do things to your body, these 144,000, that a lot of people ain't going to be able to do. You see that? So, but going back to what I'm trying to show you is that there's a spiritual body and there's a physical body that you're going to have here on earth.
Yeah, 15 and 40.
No.
Celestial.
Is it?
What you just said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, 15 and 40. I'm totally wrong. Yep, the water.
1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 40.
Oh, no. No. Go to 5 and 1, then we'll go there. Go ahead. 2 Corinthians 5 and 1, and then we'll go to 1 Corinthians.
Oh, 2 Corinthians.
2 Corinthians 15. Go ahead.
2 Corinthians chapter 5 and verse 1.
Right.
For we know that if our earthly house of this tabernacle were dissolved.
Right. So if this body, this physical flesh, what the Bible calls clay, if it were dissolved, go ahead.
We having a building of the Most High.
Right. That building of the Most High is that body that was created in the beginning, the spiritual body. The spirit was created first, and then it was put into the flesh. Go ahead.
In house not made with hands.
Right. You see that? So a house not made with hands, meaning not physical. So you got two bodies there. You got a spiritual body, your soul, right? We use the word spirit, but to identify what it is, it's your soul, right? Go ahead.
Eternal in the heavens.
Right. So that nobody can destroy that but the Most High. It's eternal in the heavens, the spiritual body. So remember, here on earth, we're going to be in the flesh but have power over the flesh. Right? You understand that? Okay. So yeah, you're going to be able to do all kind of things. Like I said, y'all answering the same question. I'm trying to save all that for Monday's class. All right. Where are you at?
1 Corinthians chapter 14 and verse 40.
Go ahead.
15 and verse 40.
Verse 15. I'm sorry. Chapter 15 and verse 40.
Uh-huh.
There are also celestial bodies.
Right.
And bodies terrestrial.
Right. So your celestial body is that one that was created in the beginning that's housed by this clay right here. This breaking down flesh. Right? That's your celestial body. Your terrestrial is you in this physical form. Right? That's why we're fighting to be after the what?
Spiritual.
The celestial. Excuse me. You're right. Go ahead.
Come. But the glory of the celestial is one.
Uh-huh.
And the glory of the terrestrial is another.
Right. Go ahead.
There is one glory of the sun, and another glory of the moon.
Read.
And another glory of the stars. For one star differeth from another star in glory.
Right. So that's it on that. Jump back to 5 and 3. So glory of the celestial or glory of the terrestrial. Go back to 5 and 3.
Chapter 2 Corinthians chapter 5 and verse 3.
2. Go ahead.
Verse 2.
Uh-huh.
For in this we groan, earnestly desiring to be clothed up with our house, which is from heaven.
Right. So you want that spiritual body. Right? But listen to what he's saying. Go ahead.
Verse 3. If so be that being clothed, we shall not be found naked.
Right. That means that you want the spiritual body. To obtain that spiritual body, when YAHAWASHI comes back, you can't be found naked with the spiritual things. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You want to attain the spirit, then you have to start grabbing. It's like your spiritual clothes. Faith, love, brotherhood, unity, my shoes, you know what I mean? Patience, loving kindness. That makes up your spiritual body. That's what he's going to look in and see if you're clothed with.
That's when it goes back to the 10 virgins. You had 5 virgins they were clothed. They had the oil.
Right.
Then you had the other 5 that didn't have the oil. It's the same analogy in the sense that they weren't prepared. They didn't have what the Most High was requiring of them.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So we want to be clothed upon with that, right? Go ahead.
Verse 4.
It's nice.
For we that are in the tabernacle do groan.
So we're in this body and we groan. Like I said the other day, like, Yahweh, why can't you just blow everybody up and just start the hell over? Please, just end this. Right?
Take the car.
That was me in my moment, being dramatic. You're like, Yahweh, just please, we really got to go through another, more.
This ain't living.
Right? We groan to be in that body. Go ahead.
Being burdened.
Being burdened what? The carnal. We're sick and tired of it. Drugs, homosexuality, lying, the politics, the government, right? Your mind constantly trying to tap into the carnal and overweigh you with carnal things to make you sin. You're tired of it. Go ahead.
Not for that we would be unclothed.
Now you want to reach the spiritual level, but not by a gunshot wound to the head.
Right.
That's what he's saying. You want to be spiritual, but you don't want to just be ripped out of your flesh, because that's going to hurt.
God.
But this is what you want. Go ahead.
But clothed upon.
But to be in the flesh and be twinkled, that's what you want. Because you can be in the flesh and the power of the Spirit takes over. That's what's going to happen with you in the flesh. That's what the Most High is going to give us.
Second Ezra's.
No, don't save those. Save those for Monday. Go ahead.
That mortality might be swallowed up.
That mortality might be swallowed up. You see that? And that's what's going to happen to us. Or, once again, this is what we're all striving for, to be in that number, right?
God.
Right, because we don't dare make ourselves of the number, but we show dang is going to fight to be there.
That's what so said.
Right? So this is what we're all fighting to be, right? All right, so you got that, right? All right, what else we got?
We have, will sisters without husbands be able to make it to the kingdom?
And we answered this before, of course. Of course, we obviously the scriptures gives us the wisdom and shows us that. Go to 1 Corinthians 11. We've touched on this one before. It's all good. The scriptures tell you that, and I know where this comes from. We heard the madness before that if you ain't got a husband, you can't make it to the kingdom. That's a lie. That's not true, because if that was the case, then what about all the women that don't want men? Right? And not want men because they done slept with everybody. And they want women, right? No, not the ones that, I'm tired of the men's, I'm done. You know what I mean? I hate men. Not that. Not all that. But the ones that sincerely give their minds towards, I'm going to search the Most High. I'm going to stay a virgin. Right? Or I'm going to become I'm not saying you can't become that either. I'm just saying that, the motives behind that isn't just, I hate men and I want to be anti-men, but it's literally you locking into the spirit, right? So it's 1 Corinthians 11 and 1 Corinthians 11. Where am I at? And where it says she be pleased to dwell, that's verse. Is it? I thought it was 11. I'm wrong again. No, it's 11. If they be willing to dwell together?
That's 7 and 13.
7. Ah.
Yep.
Man, okay. 7 and 13. Sorry, y'all. 1 Corinthians 7. Start at 12.
Okay.
Go ahead.
1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 12.
Start at 11.
Okay. Verse 11.
Uh-huh.
But, and if she depart, let her remain unmarried.
Oh, my bad. Start at 10.
Okay.
Let's get some context here. Go ahead.
1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 10. And unto the married I command, yet not I, but the Lord.
All right, forgive me, y'all. Forgive me. I'm trying to make sure I give you substance and not jump in the middle and you not comprehend it. So let's start at 7. Let's start at 7 and read down. Go ahead.
Verse 7.
Uh-huh.
For I would that all men were even as myself.
Right.
And every man had his proper gift of God.
Right.
One after this manner,
Uh-huh.
and another after that.
Now, when the Bible says man, it don't just mean man. It means women too. Women can have this power that Paul is talking about also, which is I don't need that physical connection from a man. I don't need that, right? Some of y'all are like that now. Go ahead.
Verse 8. I say therefore to the unmarried and widow,
Uh-huh.
it is good for them if they abide even as I.
Read that again.
I say therefore to the unmarried,
The what?
the unmarried
Read.
and widows,
Read.
it is good for them if they can abide even as I.
See, Paul is showing them, man, listen, if the Most High is giving you the gift to not have to have a woman, not to have a man, all praises, be as I.
Come.
Right?
Come.
It's not a commandment that you have to be with a man or that you have to be with a woman. Right? Some Give me that one too in Matthew's about eunuchs, right? You know, you got to see that the Most High has created. Some people got that gift. People got that spirit on them, and we're not talking about these homosexuals in the Catholic Church or lesbians up in the Catholic Church talking about they're nuns, but all they get is the dildo. Like a nun should mean you don't desire none.
Right.
That's what a nun mean. It should be I don't get none and I don't desire none.
God.
Same thing for the man. When this gift is on you, it's you don't desire it physically. It doesn't have a pull on you, as opposed to other people, you know, they're in relationships and they need some, right? So this is what he's saying. I wish you could be like me. He says unmarried and widows. So just to cut that out of there, obviously there's going to be women if they're just in widow form, right? And their husband died. Their husband died, she has the opportunity to marry again, right? You can't say, oh, sis, you know what? Wait a minute. You're a widow now. You need to get you a husband. She could be like, you know what? I'm never going to marry again.
Titus 3.
Judith did that, right?
Did
Judith make it to the kingdom?
Come.
Come on now. You got to think about it. What type of sister Judith was. You didn't think the Most High didn't walk her through the gates? You better go read back on that sister. So, and she didn't have a husband. It says she never married. So for you to say that, you err not knowing the scriptures. And I'm not saying the person that asked said that. I'm saying that where a lot of this madness is coming from online, don't let it distort the true message, which is, no, women are going to make it to the kingdom and they all ain't going to have a husband. Everyone ain't going to have a husband. Men are going to make it to the kingdom and everyone ain't going to have a woman, right? You can be single all the way to YAHAWASHI come back. You can be single to you 100. It's not against the commandments, okay? So go ahead, read on.
Verse 9. But if they cannot contain.
But if you don't have the gift, go ahead.
Let them marry.
Go ahead.
For it is better to marry.
That's what it means to contain. If you can't, go ahead.
For it is better to marry than to burn.
Right. So contain. That's what it means. If you can't contain, then you're burning. Right? The edge, the desire, you're succumb to the desire, right? The need, right? You don't have the gift. Go ahead.
And unto the married I command, yet not I, but the Lord.
Go ahead.
Let not the wife depart from her husband.
Right. So obviously he's going into, you can't just leave your husband. Go ahead.
Verse 11. But and if she depart, let her remain unmarried.
Let her what?
Let her remain unmarried.
Meaning in these instances where they were separate, they were going to be separate, right? They just can't deal with each other, right? She was supposed to remain unmarried. Now, that's a woman that doesn't have a husband, right? So you're going to say, oh, she don't make it to the kingdom? No, it's showing you in these two instances that no, a woman can be without a man and still be righteous, or else Paul would not be leading them to that example. He wouldn't be telling them to do something that's out of the spirit. What's that?
I got one in Wisdom or something.
Okay, let me finish this. Go ahead.
Or be reconciled to her husband.
Right, we hit it. I just want to finish this up. Go ahead.
And let not the husband put away his wife. But to the rest speak I, not the Lord. If any brother had a wife that believeth not, and she be pleased to dwell with him. Right,
so it goes into something else. So that answers your question. And now you got something to add.
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 3 and verse 14. You want to read it?
Go ahead and read it.
Come. And blessed is the eunuch which hath with his hands. I'm slow. Blessed is the eunuch which with his hands hath wrought no iniquity, nor imagined wicked things against the Most High. For unto him shall be given the special gift of faith and an inheritance in the temple of the Lord, more acceptable to his mind. Right.
So the scriptures telling us, remember, we can't look at these scriptures and say, well, that's talking to a man only. If that's the case, then We could do that with the whole Bible. Then you sound like these idiots out there, right? No, the Bible's talking to men and women. So blessed is the eunuch that have not worked any wickedness with their hands. That means that any wickedness with their hands. Y'all get it? Wink, wink. Right? Where we at?
This is Matthew chapter 19 and verse 11.
Right. Go ahead. Matthew's 19 and 11. So just on this question of a woman can make it to the kingdom without a man, yes, a woman can. Right? It's not an order that you got to be married, you got to have a woman, you got to have a man. Go ahead.
Matthew chapter 19 and verse 11.
Uh-huh.
But he said unto them, all men cannot receive this saying, save they to whom it is given.
Right.
For there are some eunuchs which were so born from their mother's womb.
Right. I mean, what that means is that, and a eunuch is not a person just as God is
Castrated.
Is castrated. There are instances of that. But as you see, there are eunuchs that are created from the womb, meaning that the spirit on this individual is just, that connection, they don't need it. They just don't need it. That's the type of eunuch from the womb. Go ahead.
And there are some eunuchs which were made eunuchs of men.
Right. You got the instances that what? That their private was cut off.
Yep.
Right? There's some instances that men take vows to be a eunuch. Right? There's nothing wrong with that either. Go ahead.
And
hey, let me get back to the point. Men and women, they take vows to not deal like that. Go ahead.
And there be eunuchs which have made themselves eunuchs for the kingdom of heaven's sake.
You see that? There's nothing wrong with that. You see? Now, is this an order? Is this a must? No. The Most High ain't ordered that.
Right.
He's saying that there's nothing wrong with it either.
Con.
If you take on this position. Go ahead.
He that is able to receive it, let him receive it.
There you go. So, hopefully that answers your question. Was that a brother or a sister?
Sister.
Hopefully that answers your question, sis. Now, remember, let your motives be right and pure. Let it not be out of hate and anger, and it can't be like you married and then be like, you tell your husband, you know what, I just decided I'm done with men. Like,
right.
nah.
I'm done dealing with you.
it don't work like that,
Right.
I hope it's not in that instant. But hopefully that answers your question. What else?
Jermaine asked the question, Matthew chapter 15 and 26. Is YAHAWASHI calling the Canaanites dogs?
Oh, he answered that already? Mm-hmm. When did he ask him that?
That was weeks ago.
Okay. Well, why is he asking it again? Jermaine, did Quatazab not answer the question enough for you? Tell me why you're asking the question again. What else we got?
We have another question. Samantha Brown, I have a question. I know we are supposed to have a marriage license. So how does our marriages become legal within the eyes of the state? Do we follow the laws of the land and file for a license?
We've touched on this before also. Good question. Remember, the devil's a lie. The devil's a lie. So our laws and our rules is based on us. Is it unlawful for you to get a license from the courthouse? Nothing wrong with that. Is it a commandment that you have to? No. Back in the days in slavery, how'd you do your birth certificate? Was there an actual piece of paper, typed up? What are people? How did you know your lineage? They wrote it down in the Bible. Right? You didn't have a piece of paper to say, hey, this is your lineage, or you're married, right? This was known with the people. So remember, these you don't have to do it that way. Our customs, since you said we did have to start doing that. Why? Because a lot of Israelites were disobeying the law. They were dealing with these women and they weren't taking on the duty as the husband. So Moses came back and said in Deuteronomy 22 and 28, Exodus 22 verse 15, right?
Yep.
He said, when you lay with this woman, you got to make her your wife, bruh.
Endow her to be your wife.
Right? So, and this is where all this has to be instituted through them breaking the law and not being moral people. So, back to your point, your question, do you have to go get one through the white man? No. You don't got to go get one through the white man. Could you and your husband sign one? Yes. Who are we ought to obey rather than men?
The Most High.
Let's go there real quick. Go to Acts. So, you know, and once again, there's nothing wrong with it, you know, to get a license. Now, I'm going to tell y'all outside of what the scriptures say. I'm going to do like Paul. When he speaks outside of the laws, he makes a point to say that. I'm going to say that right now, that why won't I get a license? Right? Why? Why don't I get a license with my ribs? Why don't I go to the courthouse? Because it's not needed. It's not needed to go. They know. They honor it. I honor it.
Kids.
The Most High honor it. Right?
God.
Why would I need to go get a piece of paper from the white man and say I'm married? Now, if it be the case, if they're being Israelites, if it be the case that there's a divorce that has to happen, and we were so much out of our mind that we could not come to terms and make things right in our relationship, will it be good to have a paper of divorce? Yeah, because a lot of Israelites want to play games. And once you sign that paper to divorce, right, you're able to say what? I'm not playing with you. This is a wrap. Right? Now, once again, we know that there's no law that we have to. This was our custom. This was our custom to go ahead and do these things. You were supposed to honor your marriage like Christ said to honor it, like the Most High said to honor it. All right? So just to give you a little wider thought process on that. Remember, the law had to come in because we were lawless. We were disobedient. So did Adam and Eve, did they come back down and have to fill out a piece of paper?
Not according to Genesis.
Not according to
chapter.
Genesis. But why did Moses lay it down? Because the scripture says the law's for the lawless. Negroes, Mexicans, Haitians, they sleep with somebody and what?
Run.
They run.
Hit and run just for fun. That's a song, man.
Yeah. So we got to think about these things. Go ahead. And that's, remember, we're running out of time. We can go over it through the scriptures if you want. Also, who's that, sister?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we can go through the scriptures also, but
Samantha Brown.
I'm just touching on these things so y'all can get that. All right, go ahead.
This is Acts chapter 5, verse 29. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey the Most High,
right,
rather than men.
We ought to obey God rather than men. So what we're doing is in the confines of righteousness, not based on a homosexual at the courthouse telling me I'm married. I don't need that. You know what I mean? I know I'm married because the Most High told me. If you want to, we have a ceremony, good. If you want to have a piece of paper between you and your wife, good. I don't need the white man telling me, oh, and when she break up with you, you got to give her half of everything. Not that I got half or anything, but you gonna get half of these bills. No, but think about it. You don't need the white man all up in your stuff like that. because they're using that against our brothers and our sisters.
Con.
They're already doing it with your kids. Once you sign the birth certificate, what happened?
Lost to the state.
You might as well get the lube out, because you finna be, ooh, right? But what did you say, brother? They belong where?
To the state.
Yeah, you signed the birth certificate, they belong to the state. You signed the marriage certificate, now you got to deal with what?
The state coming in.
The state coming in and involving themselves, right?
Con.
So you got to think about those things, right? That what you're doing, you're getting Esau involved with all these things. I'm going to say it again. Is it wrong? No. If you want to put yourself in that situation, that's you. Now, is it unlawful, according to the scriptures, to not get a piece of paper from the white man? That is, nah. Because we had our own laws.
Yeah, that's why
we had our own priests.
Con.
We had our own witnesses. We didn't have the nations. So you can't say, oh, well, you got to do it from the white man. How about if I do it from the priesthood? Then what? Oh, it's not honored?
To who?
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So
that's why
let's not play with this.
they got common law marriage.
Yeah, common law marriage, exactly.
So if you dwell together 2 years, that's your spouse.
You're married.
It's like, come on.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just some things that to throw out there, man, because we know a lot of what our people, we've heard this questions a lot. You're not the first, you're not going to be the last. But, you know, it's those variables in there that you got to go through the scriptures and understand and look at and see, okay, this is the commandment. But this commandment wasn't bound to the white man. It was bound to Israelites and people that perform the laws of the Most High. Check this out. Go to Corinthians. Let me show you something. 6:1. 1 Corinthians 6:1. Right? And I didn't go over the other scriptures because she did say she knows. Right? She did say, I mean, if she didn't, we would have went to the Titus, we would have went to the Deuteronomy, we would have went to all these scriptures. But she already knew, so that's why I didn't go to all those scriptures. Go ahead.
First Corinthians chapter 6 verse 1.
Read. Go ahead.
There any of you having a matter against another,
Right.
go to law before the unjust.
Read it again.
Go to law.
No, read it again from the top.
Okay. There any of you having a matter against another,
Right.
go to law before the unjust.
So what that's telling you right there.
The law is unjust. The America's law is unjust.
Nah. What it's telling you is how you, being in the laws and commandments, right? How you gonna go to the unjust dealing with the laws of the Most High? They don't know how to deal with our law. Right? Yeah.
Pants.
Yeah.
Or,
They're not gonna
I mean,
do
dresses.
Yeah. Well, they're gonna say according to them, she's gonna get half Eddie.
Right. It be like that. You be a lot of people in the military, oh man, they would look sick.
Yeah, that's not what the scriptures say.
You've been in the military 10 years, your wife was in there with you 10 years, you divorce her when you get to retire, she take half your retirement.
Right.
She take half your retirement. Cats will listen.
Sick.
They were trying to
That's why
niggle
the
the
white
way.
man be popping them in the head. Like, nah,
yeah.
just kill her.
Yep.
Kill her. Kill myself. Nobody's getting nothing.
Yep, yeah.
No, but seriously, the scriptures are saying, why will we... He said, basically he's like saying, shame on you. How dare any of you, you got issues and you're dealing with the commandments of the Most High, and then you go to the white man, well, I'm going to call the cops on you. Like, what the hell?
You dirty dog.
You going to call the cops. You know what I mean? And that's for things that we're dealing with. That's not for he's choking me out. Yeah, obviously you're going to call the cops. He's punching me in the face or she's kicking me in the head. Then... you're acting like beasts. Who do you need to get involved to deal with beasts?
The beast.
The beasts, right? We get that. But we're talking about men and women ruling themselves under the moral standard of the commandments, carrying themselves under the laws and commandments. I know I'm married. My ribs know they're married. So I don't have to sit down and write a piece of paper. We've been together a long time. I think it's past that, right? You know what I mean? Go ahead. Go ahead. No, you gonna say
Now, when you
something?
think about the paper, they don't really respect paper.
Right.
When you look at marriages, because America has the highest divorce rate of all time in history of any country. So a piece of paper doesn't give the respect between the spouses.
Right.
It has to be something more spiritual. It has to be a connection and understanding that this is till death literally do us part. Not the certificate says that. No, in the spirit realm.
Right.
You know, so
Read on.
And not before the saints.
And now before where?
The saints.
So you can go before the saints and get married. You can go before the saints and get a written paper that of divorce, of marriage. Go ahead.
Do ye not know that the saints shall judge the world?
Go ahead.
And if the world shall be judged by you, are ye unworthy to judge the smallest matters?
There you go. So we're supposed to be able to deal with this amongst the nation of Israel, and whether marriage license or divorce license. You know what I mean? You don't, and it's done. It's already done. This is already going on. You know what I mean? Through the nation. And there's nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it at all. So, was that it on that? No, the sister?
yeah, that was her last. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Jermaine comment. He said, "My fault. I wasn't tuned in at that time. Didn't know the priest answered that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't get the edification at the time."
Ah, okay. All right. So what was his question?
The question was, in the book of Matthew, chapter 15 and verse 26, is YAHAWASHI calling the Canaanites dogs?
Yeah. Go there.
Matthew chapter 15 and verse 26.
Go ahead.
But he answered and said, "It is not meet to take the children's bread and cast it to dogs."
Right, and cast it to dogs. Yeah. Yes, sir. You know what I mean? He was showing him like the nations. He said you're like spit. They're like spit.
You're beneath me.
Right?
Would you give the definition of dogs?
Yeah.
It says as to throw away, as to useless or ruined. It says also, what was it? There's another point.
What's his definition? Where's it coming out of?
This is the Webster's 1828. This is the Webster's 1828. It I'm sorry, I lost my place. I had it highlighted.
I mean, but y'all, I mean, that's clear. What you just wasn't sure about them, or how I'm gonna say this? What made you unsure that he was calling them dogs? Hit me back on that.
It's denoting, which means degenerate or worthless.
Right. I mean, if anybody calls you a dog, they literally don't mean you're a puppy walking around.
No.
It's a derogatory meaning that you are worthless or you're a degenerate.
God.
So that's what he was saying to her. That's what he was saying to her. Just like when he said in John 4, you know not what you worship. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews. Like,
come on.
There's moments when he took it out and told them, like, look, you guys are the bottom.
You think you know?
Yeah, you're not what I came for. It's not meat to take the children's bread, cast it to dogs. Where you at?
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse 55. Yeah, start at verse 55.
Yeah, go there real quick. Just to add with that. See if he answered back on my question too.
2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse 55.
Go ahead.
All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes.
Go ahead.
As for the other people, which also come about him, thou hast said that they are nothing.
He said that in Isaiah 40 verse 15. He said that they are nothing. Go ahead.
But be like unto spittle.
But be like spit. So, for him to come back and say you're a degenerate or a castaway or nothing, it's those moments that it shows you that, okay, if Jesus loved everybody, why is he calling this woman a dog? Why you just didn't say, like in other instances, be healed, my daughter? Right? Why do you have to step out of the way and say you're a dog? Right? So, yeah, he was definitely talking to them. What did he say?
He didn't respond back to that.
Okay. All right. So we get that. Hopefully that helps out. I was just wondering what gave you the dilemma that it wasn't him calling them dogs?
Ooh, shit, verse 57.
You can read down to verse 57.
Let's kill it.
And now, O Lord, behold, these heathens,
Right. These what?
these heathen,
Right.
which have ever been reputed as nothing,
They were reputed as nothing.
Yeah, like you said, ever. They've always been reputed as nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's real.
Yeah, their customs, their all their ceremonies, they're garbage, man. You know, and they have a purpose though. But they have a purpose. I like it. They have a purpose. Just like they're using us for their purpose of building up this wicked kingdom on our backs, they're gonna be doing the same thing, but in righteousness.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh. Is that it?
no.
Go ahead.
And now, O Lord, behold, these heathen, which have ever been reputed as nothing, have begun to be lords over us.
Right. So, hopefully, Jermaine, would he hit us back?
No, sir.
No. Okay, Jermaine. Hopefully that helped you out, brother. Hopefully I was clear on that for you. What else? Anything else online?
Yeah, we have one question.
One more.
It says, Yakana, where can I find the ceremonial aspects of a Hebrew wedding ceremony and reception?
We did a class on that, and there's a few different moments in the scriptures when you go to Tobit.
Okay.
You see the marriage of Tobias and Israel, and then you can go to, and this is what I went over in this class. I went over to Tobit, then I went over to Samson about the marriage ceremony. So let me get you to class because obviously we're over time, and instead of just giving you little bits, let us give it to you in its entirety, because I did a real good class going through the actual steps of how we got married based on the instances and put them together in the scriptures. So if you can find that one real quick.
You know what it's called?
It's something, steps to marriage or something. Try to look it up. I went over that.
Or Houston.
I went over that in
It's in
Houston,
Houston.
right? Yeah. I think I went over that in Houston. We won't click off till we find that for you, because it's a really good class. And what's that?
I thought I was there.
Oh, yeah, it was a really good class in Houston that I went over, man. It was, and all praises to the Most High. I'm just saying that the scriptures came together clear. All right.
Jermaine hit back.
What did he say?
He said, no dilemma, sir, LOL. I only asked because I had to make sure I was reading it correct.
Oh, right. Khan. He had to take the double take.
Yeah,
Like,
it's called the steps of marriage.
the steps of marriage. You sure? That's the one I went over?
I think it's you and me. I remember this class. I remember it.
Let me see here. The steps of marriage. Yeah. Is that the actual one that I go through? Yeah, I think that's it. It's called Steps of Marriage. Put that one in there for him. And,
I'll share it with you. Yes.
you said he's gonna shoot it through the email? Kazak at Gmail?
No, just the hangout. Your hangout.
Okay. Do I have to hang out on this?
That's where we are now.
Or shoot it through the email. Either or. She can pull it up.
That's fine. Anyone's fine.
Yeah, we'll get that one in there. That's a good one. That's a good one, man. You'll like that one. And then if you have any questions, we can go into that also. Outside of what all the information that came out. What else? Do we got any other questions?
Dang, that was.
It's a good question class, man. I get hyped over question class. I like switching it up. So yeah, it changed up the zone. What else? Any other questions on there before we end this? Remember, it is the Shabbat, brothers and sisters. Keep it holy. You know, try to stay away from the drama, the foolishness, the madness. We know some of y'all still got to go to work, but remember, keep your mind on the Most High. For y'all that don't got to work, Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
John.
Great. But some of y'all, we know y'all do gotta work, you know, but remember, man, this is the day you don't want to be arguing. Kids too.
Done.
You don't want to be arguing, fighting. It's the day of rest. The day of resting from your niggerism. That's what should be in your head. And locking in and keeping your mind and YAHAWASHI, the laws, the commandments, looking into you at the forefront of your mind. All right? So, did you send it to him yet?
I sent it through the chat and I can put it on the description box.
Okay. So we sent it through the chat and we put it in the description box. So hopefully you got that, brother. Is that it? Anything else? We thank you, brothers and sisters, for being cordial, for being respectful. Remember, man, we all represent the nation. We appreciate that, and we are examples to the Gentiles. So y'all keep doing that, man. We got to keep trying to get each other better, and it's all good. Everybody salute and say shalom.
Shalom.
Right, to the kingdom come.
Till the kingdom come.
That was a good class.
Fire,
I'm
do
sorry
you-
I didn't.
Keep the Bible